Hi. I would love to come to you today and talk to you a little bit about my three top tips on why building strong business foundations is really important. So, this week, I've actually been on a bit of a week holiday, which has been amazing. Um, During that time, though, I have still been chatting to clients, and it also brought home for me how having those strong business foundations really allows you to have the flexibility in your life and your business. And without those strong foundations, it could just lead you to possibly feeling the way you used to, maybe in your old corporate job, where you were highly stressed because you knew you had a lot on. So having really good business foundations, really nice solid ones, and great systems in place allows you to have flexibility and a better lifestyle, and allows you to really be totally work from anywhere and know that things are still running in the background while you're living your life and enjoying yourself. So I wanted today to share with you those three top tips of mine. And please let me know afterwards if you have any others you'd love to share with us. These are just some that have come to me over the last couple of weeks because I've been away. So I've sort of went, this is why we set this up. And this is also something that I highly encourage my clients to do. So it's so funny when you speak to your clients every day and you tell them certain things. Sometimes you experience it yourself, and then you go, that's right, that's why, I remember why I tell people to do that. So it's really good to be living out your own, walking your talk is the thing I was looking for. So sometimes it happens every day you walk your talk, and other days it kind of is one of those things that you get little reminders like, oh, that's why we do that. I remember now. So for me, having strong foundations is really a lifestyle thing. With your business, especially when you're self-employed or entrepreneur, however you'd like to call yourself, your business becomes like another part of you, and let's just call it your arm. So you need your arm to function, you need your arm to bring you in income so that you can live the life that you want to live. So this arm becomes a very important part of your life, and sometimes making sure that that arm is functioning can take over your life. So it's not only great for your business to have strong foundations, but it's also good for you and your health and your lifestyle, because creating those boundaries and processes and systems now will help alleviate the anxiety and stress down the track when things start getting crazy and you're so busy with lots of clients. So it's really great to set them up now so that it's all good for down the track. I did an episode on this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I like to describe this about the solid foundations of your business as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So if you imagine you have the beautiful concrete slab on the bottom, and then you start building your building. Without those strong, upright, elements in the building, you're going to end up with a very leaning building. And Leaning Tower of Pisa is very structurally safe, but we can't all have that structurally safe thing if there's no strong foundations. So when I talk about foundations, I mean having great systems in place, knowing what platforms you're using, not spending, knowing what your incomings and outgoings are of your business, not blowing out on the outgoings, which is very, very common for a lot of us when we first start. So really just knowing all of those little things are ticked and it's smoothly running, so that when you are growing, it can grow easily rather than you have to scrap everything and start again. So that brings me to my first tip, which is building strong foundations can help you grow your business organically. So a lot of the times I see people start out in business and then they go, oh, I need this huge platform, which is like $70 a month. And I need this, U-Butte system over here. Those systems are amazing. And yes, they are perfect. But probably when you know that you're sound in your business, that's when you go and look for those other things. So having those strong foundations means that you can grow organically, not need to go and bust out and do all these crazy things to start with, but really just take your time and find the things that work for you at the time and slowly grow from there, rather than just, randomly bringing in new stuff, new platforms and new systems and keep changing things. You want to be able to grow slowly and really just work with what you have until you can move to the next level. Which is also that sustainability thing. When you're starting out, you need to be able to really know what your ins and outs are. What money are you earning each week? And honestly, sometimes that could be really random from week to week, depending on whether you have ongoing clients, whether you have a database yet, things like that. So in the beginning, you need to make sure that your outgoings are very, very minimal, because you want to make sure that your business is going to be sustainable. And without being sustainable, unfortunately, that's where a lot of businesses fail, because we have a lot of outgoings, we're not having a lot of incomings, and it just becomes a big stress, overwhelming thing. Sometimes ending in, a lot of debt and financial struggle because of that. And a lot of people just sort of stop with their business and go back and work, where they were previously working or in some kind of field like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that either. If that's what you choose to do, absolutely go and do it. But I want to stop people having to do it because maybe they're not so much watching that income to start with. So really make sure you're knowing exactly what you're spending each month and what is it on. Is it really needed just yet? I'm a very shoestring girl, and I still, to this day, after nearly 3 years in this business now, I have very basic platforms, and my outgoings each month probably only about $30 to $40. And that's on booking system, email marketing, all of those things that we need for our business. That's what my outgoings are. But apart from that, they're very minimal. So really have a look at what those outgoings are and make sure they're just where you need them. And then as you start growing and your income starts growing and your client base starts growing, that's when you can look to up level. And that's also when that great structure and that organic growth will come in, because it's all happening naturally rather than being forced. And of course, it helps prevent burnout, not only in your business, which is very much what I was saying, don't earn enough money, stress, burnout, have to go back to other employment, but it also helps prevent health burnout, because a lot of us, the pressure of running a business is pretty full on, let's face it. I've had a friend actually recently tell me that the stress of running the business was actually equivalent to working in the corporate space, which I think is quite interesting. So for us to be able to manage that, we need to make sure that we're managing our lifestyle and our boundaries and things like that to prevent burnout. So having those great foundations in place and knowing exactly, what we want to achieve, how we want to achieve it, what systems we have in place, knowing that from the beginning will help prevent a lot of that burnout. So my tip for you is start looking at what rituals you have in place for yourself and your business. Are you being consistent with things? Are you being, are you really managing your time and things like that, so that you are on top of it and you're not burning yourself out. If you are doing crazy hours in your business each week, and I would say, look, it's hard to measure when you work for yourself, because for me, I love what I do. This is officially working, but I like talking, so I'm not counting it. But there's a lot of those things that happen in our week, right? So however you want to, measure it, have a think about how many hours you would do in your week. If you're measuring it and you're finding that it's over 30, anything over 30, I would have to question what that time's being spent on. So just really make sure that you're not burning yourself out in your business. And if you are spending that much time in your business, then have a look at why. Is it because maybe a system's not quite in place for something, so you're spending extra time on it? Or maybe you don't have any boundaries yet, so you're working constantly around the clock because you don't know when to stop. Have a look at what that might be and start really digging in there, because the last thing I want to see is for you to burn out, because it's not fun. I've been there a lot of times, and it's just really important to nip it in the bud now and really just try and avoid it altogether. So having great strong foundations, setting up rituals and systems really, really makes a big difference. So that's my 3 tips. If you want any further info, please feel free to message me. I would also love to hear your tips if you have some on how you, build those strong foundations for your business. All right, well, have an amazing day. And yeah, I look forward to hearing some of your responses. Awesome. Thank you. Bye.